In this video, we'll discuss personas, which you can use to keep sensitive information like passwords out of your tests. First, let's look at a test where you may want to use personas. Then we'll go over how you can create and modify personas. Here's a monitoring test that logs into Tellurium. We've scheduled it to run every minute to ensure that the login functionality is working as expected. You can see that the test includes a test user's email address and password. But what if we want to keep that test user's information secure so that it doesn't appear in tests or results where others can see it? This is where personas come in handy. Instead of hard-coding the email and password in the test, we can tell Tellurium to use a persona. We can then replace the hard-coded email and password with references to the persona's email and password. Now we have a test that logs into Tellurium but doesn't include an email address or password and won't display them in the results. Keeping this type of information out of your tests is especially important if you're sharing results with people outside of your organization. Now that we've talked about why you'd use personas and how to include them in your tests, let's look at how you can create and modify a persona. Navigate to the Variations page by selecting Variations from the Tools menu. This is the home page for your project's variations. A persona is just one type of variation that you can use to make your tests more flexible and secure. Click the Persona link to go to the Personas page. Here, you'll find everything that you'll need to create and manage your personas. This is how it works. Each row in the table represents a different persona. When you're writing a test with personas, you use the persona's name and the name of a column to identify the value which Tellurium should substitute in when running the test. If a persona's information changes, you can fix it once in the personas table and all of your tests will update automatically. To create a new persona, click the Add Row button. Give your persona a name, then enter values for any relevant columns. Click Create to add the new persona to the table. To get additional columns, click the Add Column button. Name the column, then click Create to add it to the table. If you have more than one persona, you can configure Tellurium so that you can choose which personas your tests use at runtime. This allows you to increase the flexibility of your tests since you can write one test but run it with different personas who may have different permissions within your application. Say that I'd like to be able to choose personas based on their roles within my company. In that case, I'd click the gear icon next to the role column, choose Modify, then place a check mark next to Set at Runtime. Now when I go to run my tests, the application will ask me which persona or personas I'd like to use based on their role. Check the box next to each test that you want to run, then click the Run Tests button below the table. If you want to assign a name or description to the run, set a test delay, take screenshots, or receive notifications, you can do so now. You'll notice an expandable section called Personas. Each column that you marked as set at runtime on the Personas table is listed here. Choose one or more personas to be used in this run. Click the Run button whenever you're ready, and your tests will run using each of the personas that you selected. And there you have it. For more info on personas and other variations, check out our documentation at te52.com.